very different maps. We've seen the first kind of glimpse of how we kind of maybe expected the series to go on Ascent. That was GAMBIT looking dominant, but then the turn of events happened, and, well, G2 came alive, and now we're into map 3, which will be, of course, Bind, and we're live into this one. Hypoc, your win conditions here for either side. What's standing out to you now?
And again, I mean, it's, for me, looking back towards Kellogg's, we talk about the composition, and the Death leaned on this. See, Defo going to stay around, try and do a little bit of damage onto Kellogg's, and Mixwells, they creep into showers. I'll come back to that just in case G2 I'd push through. Doesn't look like they're just going to settle for showers control, at least for the time being. But yeah, last few appearances, we've seen G2 bounce between a couple of compositions. This seems to be, as of yesterday, the one where they found some success, right? So again, it looks towards Kellogg's on that stage, right? Talk about coming into this roster and being this explosive jet main, and sustainability always lies in that versatility, right? What's in the agent pool? So that's what I'm looking for here on Bind Lauren.
Okay. And so far, a very patient beginning. 35 seconds remaining and no massive lean at the start, but now, of course, it culminating towards that A site. 3 players left on the other side, and Chronicle going to be quite towards the front of this. 25 seconds, falls away, gives up. Short and Shower now being pressured as well. Chronicle low on the dip back through with that crossfire that Defo is creating. It's the Ghost in Defo's hands that's doing the work, as Shados now going to pick up the mantle that was left towards U-Haul, but look at this shutdown. As soon as they took that step towards the side, GAMBIT controlled the pace completely. No one taking unnecessary fights. Chronicle simply had to lose life for that. He had to hold that position and wasn't able to do so for too long, but it did set up the likes of Redgar and Defo to do exceedingly well.
And the thing is, with this compositional side of GAMBIT right on the defense, you're going to see Defo be the one to be in position to take these first contacts, right? And in these rounds, you don't want to see GAMBIT investing utility to do so, because all those late rounds stall, and yeah, the pistol round can be an example of that. If it's all still available, it's so difficult for G2 to fight. Even if they stack up, try and play trades. Defo again going to swing out on showers, and like I said, just keep an eye on him looking to do that pretty much every single round. He wants to try and make it so the GAMBIT can sit deep, right? Even if it's not finding a kill, it's pressure, it's damage, it's drawing the heal out, you know, potentially drawing out Mixwell's utility as well in terms of flashes to get him off those angles. That's going to be a real key component towards GAMBIT's success on the defense.
Yeah. Now we'll see what G2 do with this. Nuki being tagged up. Pulls away but re-aggresses over towards Hooker. Jump spotting at the back of the site as well. So Nats will get a glimpse of this if they do show a little.
Obscuring vision!
There it is. So first contact made. Vision now garnered. Again, the slower approach from G2 is allowing this utility just to do so much damage. Shados, it was still the platter for him. Yeah, this is comfy work. Real comfortable. And now, Nuki, it's laboured. Yeah, and it's done for. Shados with a gorgeous round, but everything worked in his way. I mean, Nats, that damage that was coming through from him, the jump spot, everything there.
It's so disgusting when you see somebody line up headshots like that with a Spectre, because they're vulnerable from the snake bite. They're so squishy when they drop out hookup. And again, it's... What tools do you have here? When GAMBIT are able to run the clock down, and ultimately here G2 need to close the distance, right? They need to just get out and be in range where pistols can do something. Yeah, Mixwell finds one, but even at this range, you saw how much Nuki struggled. So again, and I talked about this on the previous, GAMBIT's ability to kind of mitigate risk and kind of play things to their strengths is what makes them so strong on the defense. Again, it's only really going to be Defo that looks to get a little bit antsy in the early round, and this time actually he's going to play a little slower. Spotted out, he's boosted up outside showers now. Shados again, the flash goes out, information gathered, and Redgar actually the one to greet Nuki as he tries to swing on the back of the flash. And on G2's buy round, that's GAMBIT finding the first.
Defo, nice little jiggle peek on this, falls away. Quick flash. Ooh, the flash actually
the
whiffs
one way.
Yeah, the one way's beautiful on it as well. I think that flash just kind of was on the corner as well. It wouldn't have gone far enough to even catch him, but he was so ready for it regardless. And now the 4v3, Kellogg's is low, so everything's looking a little bit dangerous with Redgar landing shots like this. Can he stay alive? 11 HP. Squeaky bum time, I believe, is the official term for that. And now there's problems between keloqz and Avova. Can they get another player out of
30
this?
seconds left.
They can get a spike plant. Okay, and keloqz is the one to try and defend this playback through.
Planted.
Well, Marshall and a Spectre up. You see keloqz is actually going to play deep enough to protect that weapon now. That's important. Gambit might not anticipate. Especially low HP on keloqz. Somebody playing this close. Flash comes through, avoids it perfectly. Finds the first, but Nats will trade it through.
Good trade. Yeah, still a good trade, but it's Avova. This man is clutch. Seen him win so many of these, but Nats is still standing. 40 HP goes first. Happy to take the attention, but Avova, the patience, pays dividends, and look at him.
Beautiful.
Avova is such a sick player at these. He just knows that timing so well.
Again, secondary objectives though. Gambit, a lot of damage done. G2 stripped of 4 weapons. With Nuki on, I think, no kills so far. Again, you look towards a round like this where, you know, for G2 in particular, Showstopper, Blade Storm, those are big tools for them. They're going to have that opportunity here. You see the byproduct of that, a couple of light armors, a judge in the hands of Nuki, a Spectre for Coldamenta. Gambit, comfortable. Comfortable enough to get the operator online already.
Look, maybe Kenny S is the lucky charm for G2. Who knows? See if they can actually start stringing these together. They could do with a bit of it. That's preemptive. And as keloqz try and lean through, gets the information as well. Nice work from Nats here. And he's actually going to play off the back of that flash, but he eats a fair crack of it. Does at least get himself to safety for now, but not ideal. Seeker's going to go through. Does at least indicate there's more than one towards the backside of those showers, but can't really do much about this. Nats, that's really... Come off it. Come off it. You get keloqz like that. Unbelievable stuff, but they've given up a lot of space on the site, so it's a bit of a trade-out. Showers control, but then going to give up U-Haul.
Well, here's Shados will get one flashback. Avova's position will be noted. The spike is stuck outside showers here. Shados finds it. They have the info now. They can literally hold.
There it is. Information one's close, but they are being closed in on. This isn't going to be easy to hold still, but Nats bails him out with even another. This is very impressive work. Now, the two that remain, Nuki and Mixwell, not in completely complementary positions. Bear in mind that Nuki does have the judge. Flash goes in. Mixwell wants to work off the back of it. Nats denies.
Man.
Big positioning from him. He has been perfect this round as Nuki did at least get the upgrade towards a rifle, and Nats could not care less. That was the perfect round from him.
It really was. And again, 3 survive, so they have that buffer. They have a little bit of a cushion now as G2, I mean, forced to reinvest, obviously, on the back of the round victory. But like I said, you look bigger picture on a round like that, and the knock-on effect can be devastating. Good look for them here. Potential, again, on a round like this to make some ultimate progress. Again, it's only Mixwell obviously throwing the Seekers out. A massive deal to try and recover the round. Towards the Hunter's Fury and the Showstopper. As again, we see Gambit lean with 3 on B site. And Defo this time, again, he doesn't have to be looking for those same picks now with the operator through showers. He can sit much deeper on site.
What's he up to?
Oh, the timing was
The pop flash
disgusting.
and the push. If he just holds his position, the crossfire is now filthy. Yeah, Nats actually gets himself back on the front lines. They're going to all line up for him, but he does get taken down. But it sets up Redguard. At least gives him a chance to trade in when there's 3 players there. Now down to 2. Avova and Coldamenta this time. Spike to hand, though, so they can at least maybe get the clock in their favor. But still, look at the retake. It's still not going to be easy. Look at the weaponry coming back in. A Judge, a Guardian, the Op. I mean, these tricky weapons and the rotation, Hypok, they're off.
The timing, the synergy for that flash, yes, it's just 1 kill, but that was beautiful. Again, to recall the smoke itself, not just drop it. The timing, a little bit of difference there. I want to watch that replay. I know production have got me on that, but have to wait and see if G2 can recover things here. Avova and Coldamenta. Left now.
It goes around the world, just la 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 la. Back to B.
Yeah, no words. No words. Yeah, that's all you.
Yeah. He's got it. He's absolutely got him done. Redguard lingering around in this spot is such a problem, and Avova still only has the Sheriff to work with. So I don't know quite what he's going to be able to do with this.
Oh.
Well, that's going to help.
Yeah.
A little bit of an upgrade here, but a clean fight. How do you find a clean fight here?
I think he's gonna be it. Yeah.
The timing's good. Timing's really good. He's just going to walk that. This is really nice. Now, the full defuse might come through. That could be the only problem. He can't really deny. No, Defo. Really nice internal clock just ticks going, well, he's not on site. He's not long. And, okay, all right, I'm turning around.
I love it as well. Is the smoke goes down, which really, whatever happens either way, it's like if Over respects the smoke and backs off, right? Or he walks it. But it just buys a little window to make sure of everything on site. The little pieces. Yeah, unfortunately, Over not able to get anything else done in terms of damage. And GAMBIT sitting pretty, I gotta say it. One off the Blade Storm, halfway the Seekers and the Hunter's Fury, but Nats, more importantly, has the Viper's Pit. And Defo will actually creep down, and Mixwell
You will not
is not ready for it in the early round. Kellogg's will get him back on his feet.
Well, Nuki's going to try and take the
No
space
way,
back,
man.
right? This is all he can do. This is what he has to do. And he's done it well enough to find Chronicle, but there's still problems aplenty. You've still got that Showers position coming out as well. Still a player towards Heaven. Nuki going to try and clear that potential. Just going to send this in. It's Defo, who's still alive, and he's going to have to give his hand up here. Has to show a little too much as Avova's going to put him down. Trade real quick, real snappy. 4v3 though, numbers do favor G2, and Nuki's still trying to be a nuisance on this retake to regain that space.
Flank coming through though as well, and with that kill, Mixwell still on short. Nats Red Guard again with the Guardian. It's just Kellogg's to recover this here, and he loses out to Nats. GAMBIT again in the retake.
I feel as though we're getting more Ascent than Icebox when I've just seen a retake like that. It was
Oh
just piece
my
by
word,
piece.
it was.
Piece by piece. And it's not easy to dismantle this. A lot of those positions were quite complimentary. I wouldn't say it was the strongest crossfires being held, but they're doing what they could with what they had. But again, Gambit's strength in retakes scares the life out of me. And I think Zesht on the desk who was talking about it statistically. These guys are known for it. Even statistically, it proves once again as a little glimpse of how it started, and that certainly helps things.
Here is G2 again on the scraps. Sheriff across the board. Light Armors and a Judge actually Coldamenta getting a little bit of aim lab prac there actually. I'm going to track that dart. Defo actually switch things up here to try and peek Hooker in the early round. Let's see, that's on the back of this adjustment here. G2 will actually now switch things up. Kellogg's outside Showers, not really being given anything just yet. And the timing here will catch one at least. Information, and actually a second player noted due to the Owl drone. That's going to pull the rotation from GAMBIT.
But again, Nats has been just the pillar of strength for this side. If he's still alive, there's still hope. Even in a tricky sight hold like this, they've closed the gap already. The weapons are still pretty solid, but Shadow's actually going to find Avova. That's everything you'd ask for. Now time's not going to be on G2's side, and they've just got themselves in forward positions where the rifles have now come through. Kellogg's, oh no, it's nastiness. Nats there, happy to take that on. Coldamenta just about struggling through, but the rotations are in. Hypoc, this one looks sewn up.
Indeed, Sadus will find the wallbang, and the difficult thing there again, the audible was called, and I mean it's one of two things. Nuki either needs to find value on the way up short there, or Kellogg's needs to be going short with a wall. I don't think he even purchased it there, but it being Kellogg's outside Showers, Nats can just sit behind that wall for as long as he wants, and they can't plant default without finding a kill. Like I said, something into lamps or to push towards backside. It's so difficult for G2 to find that plant comfortably.
What does G2 do? Because let's kind of address some of the issues that have been going so well for GAMBIT. Opening picks, I mean, between Nats' shower control, which has been a problem, throwing Defo's op, which has been, as you highlighted early, it's going to be aggressive. He's going to try and, show variety with it, get those opening picks, and it's been working well. So kind of the bookends of the round, right? You get the start where they've been getting some nice picks, good map control. At the very end, some of these retakes have been wild. Against my expectations. So where does G2 find that space? Because at this point they're 1-6.
Yeah, the difficult thing is usually, I mean, with this composition at least, and we saw it very, very visibly on Icebox, they leave Nuki out to kind of, you know, do his own thing, right, on attack. And yes, if the audible's called where they stack up and execute, he's then the front man. But the problem being, all that dead time, like I said, if it's just Defo commanding one side of the map, Gambit can lean away. And it's not even on the back of any, you know, requirement to go and find information.
Look at this switch up. 2 through hookah. We've got Nats peeking it, Defo controlling shower again. It's just going through the checklist of things that make Gambit tick at this point, but that's a big loss. Nats now going down to Nuki. Actually could open up some space for once.
Shado's going to feel the pressure here, and he actually will get tagged from the Hunter's Fury as well. So G2 perfectly aware of where he is. 37 HP will escape. And Seekers popped in response. Now, a little bit of dead information because it's all going to filter out through hookup. I'm pretty sure Shado's going to work that one out for himself, so it will stall for a few seconds at least. And the Owl Drone again, Shadow's happy to stay here, and he's going to get wallbanged on the back of that, yeah. Redgar responds, but 3 more members of G2 to deal with.
Yeah, but remember, 2v3 retake. Maybe. This is so good. They're buying time for this flank to come in. Chronicle couldn't quite get it towards Coldamenta. I really thought there was something to that, but this might be the step that's too far. But Redgar looks like he wants to give it a damn good try. Coldamenta towards Suki. You got one towards sight and one tucked up towards long. Yeah, none of them are going to give him an easy fight on this. No. This post plant is even potentially beyond what they could achieve, and it is. Nuki there to shut it down, and G2 dealing with the adjustment for once. That was a little bit of a different look there. The aggression through hookah just didn't seem to work out for Gambit.
Well, like I said, even with Nats falling, I feel like Shados overstays his welcome massively there. Again, G2 have the tools necessary to punish that position, and here again, I mean, you look at the early round, it's Kellogg's that gets picked off. On the back of Defo, again, just drifting around the map, floating almost. Still, we keep our eye on him. He's going to walk short again, actually. This is with Shados in position to counter-pick towards Market as well. Over just the other side in astral form. This way in there, just maybe still considering the possibility, but Shados still gets the better of him.
Every time I look at Redgar's picture, I expect to see a liquid jersey and, you know, a bit of a more Coldamenta style haircut when I see a judge in hookah, but it isn't to be. Redgar gonna post himself up. Ooh, does he get away with this? So a lot of players here could do some serious nasty work. What is this? What is this space he's found? Flash in. Oh, the timing that time just a second away. It could have been perfect. It's not, but Nats is perfect in the way he's playing this already. The flash could come around towards the site. It's Mixwell, and it's only Mixwell. Nats there. This is beautiful work for Gambit. This is why when we looked at Icebox, we were a little bit stunned. Yeah. We were just like, well, where's this? Where's that nice like synergy between the players? These little flash pieces coming in. What's going on?
The problem is, and you're gonna kill me for this one.
Go on.
The problem is when you strip the economy away from G2, that momentum factor, and we can talk about teams being momentum based, and you know, Nuki getting away with murder in terms of finding first bloods and things like that. You take those things away from G2, and you just make them hesitant, right? You make them question a few of their decisions, and that's when Gambit are able to pile on the pressure. This is a strange purchase. Mixwell on a hero rifle. But with 5 rounds separating these teams now, that's not what you want to see. Again, use the phrase desperation times.
Yeah, it could happen. Look, if it was Mel observing, I'm not going to put Zilv in this position. I want the hero cam POV if he even gets close to a player, because that's all that they have in this round. That's everything. Right now. Yeah. Yeah, and Defo's watching long, so it's not looking great. It's flashed back up in a couple of seconds, so they could work up, but does he just curve that in towards Octagon?
Oh my
Defo?
God.
Jesus. Avova just got clotheslined out of the air. Quick flash comes in. Now Mixwell wants to pressure. He wants to chase that down. He's going to take the space for it, but Chronicle just instantly puts him to bed. Chronicle has just destroyed this round for them. Mixwell was just a footnote in that story. That was nothing to him.
Need a 0.25 on that readjustment to kill Avova for the replay, please. If possible.
Look, I can't demand things from observers, and you can't demand things from production. They're just going to be sick of us, aren't they? I think they already are.
I appreciate the attempt. Thank you. I noticed that the start of that was in slow-mo, so...
Yeah, we'll take it.
It's clinical. When Gambit, like, again, even without that first kill, and Defo just finds that information, I don't think G2 have a fighting chance to get onto site there. It's because of the setup. It's just...
Oh, dear.
Well...
Oh, that's an adjustment. I mean, Avova got pressured a couple of times now from this aggressive play, so I'm sure he's been almost beaten into having to keep that in mind. It's slowed down some of these pieces coming out, but maybe a springboard off the back here. Ultimate invested it, but Chronicle's just going to line him up. It's like a bowling alley. He's only going to get a couple of tags. Didn't quite get what he wanted, but chip damage and confirmation of intention is good enough for now, and they sit quite deep on this. It looks like, at least in this moment, Gambit are going to take a second or two and once again go into that retake that they are so good at.
Man, disadvantage for them, but it hasn't meant much previously. This time, G2 put heavy focus towards Lamps here. Cosmic Divide in response, but there's so many bodies ahead of that. Rookie will find Shados immediately, but a Shock Dart going to do a lot of damage. No kill, actually, but look at this now. Chronicle and Nat fighting their way back through.
And then just perfect synergy with each other at this point. Kellogg's can only get one of the two. Chronicle still stands, as does Redguard, but can they draw that final man? Coldermenta holds his nerve and holds another round for G2, giving them maybe a bit of breathing room, but it ain't much.
See, again, timeline-wise, G2 gonna buy here, but the question would be with that previous, with Mixwell obviously forcing up, was now they will be able to manage it. I mean, yeah, 2 light armors at the cost of utility. As I say that, Nuki's not got a boom bot. So there are gaps in the purchase and no ultimates available. Kellogg's and Coldermenta potentially to come online, and actually nothing else on the side of Gambit either, so we fairly dry on either sides here. But again, first time in a few rounds actually going to fight for Shower's control. Shados stopped though by the Astro utility. And actually, Coldermenta finds Redguard. That's an overstep on the back of that utility invested in Showers, actually. Maybe Redguard thought that there was going to be a gap for him to slip through, but it's punished by G2.
But I was asking the question, you know, what does G2 adjust to get around some of the big benefits that Gambit have had recently, which was those entry picks off the back of aggression and then those retakes. For now, they're actually doing incredibly well at that, but Defo is still alive. He still has control from the Showers, at least to make this cross a problem, for some utility to be invested just for him. His presence is that much, and at this point, still unable. He wanted to capitalize on that. You could see the intent, the vision so close so many times now. Rez comes out, G2 back up to full fighting force here, and Defo just gets put down, dragged out of the air as Nats is your last man alive. A 1v5, the first step made, takes a little bit of damage, but not too much. No reason not to now.
It gets double tapped by the owl drone.
This is very unfortunate.
Yeah, just a matter of time. Before he falls, hopefully. Yeah, thank you.
No full diffuses with like 4 players alive.
Yeah.
No, none of that.
No.
None of that.
They're not. I mean, they're not G2, are they?
True. Very true. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Now that's the analytics that we bring you in for. Gambit are not G2. You are very.
That one's straight from page 36 of the ramblings of a madman. But
it's a good one. It's a good page.
I gotta say, 8-4 is nothing short of a miracle for G2. It gives them a fighting chance, but. I mean, again, it all comes down to the round 2 for me. It's whether or not round 2 is clean. That's always what we look at for here. Is obviously those round wins where you keep 4 alive. You know, you can ride the Spectres into the bonus, and it's comfortable. You know, you get a couple of those ultimates online nice and early. Gambit, unless we see what happened on Icebox, which is them, I'll be honest, just bang their head against the wall. I felt like. Mixwell might even need to take the TP here. Actually going to stand strong. With Avova. Actually, the flash will keep Shados and Defo forced to play around Fountain, but...
Oh.
Of course, that's when he starts shooting, yeah.
Of course. Seems reasonable, doesn't it? 4-8 though, and you're right, this is a gift. The G2 have been found to get 4 rounds to play with here. And, you know, cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say, and these rounds will have to be for G2. You want that strong build back in, but Gambit showing patience. Already in approach, flash ready for Shados. Goes down. Ooh, don't think that was quite what they wanted with it. Defo's just going to have to go in dry. Yeah, that looked like a bit of a fumble as Nookie's been given the absolute keys to the kingdom. Happy to sit and take the fight, but it is down to a 3v3. It's not over. It's not done yet.
Seconds left.
Health advantage heavily in favor of G2 here. Actually, Nats, did he just spot Mixwell on the cross? I'm not sure if he did, actually. Mixwell unfortunately catches his own flash. He can't swing on the back of that, but Chronicle, a brazen attempt to get this spike down, and it will be punished by Mixwell. Good for the second as well. The third, Ornamenta picks up, and G2 will win out in the pistol round here in the second half. Now, again, it's the next 2 rounds that are absolutely crucial for G2 to build back into this map. I have to see again, I gotta say it, Gambit just around the, yes, it's the pistol, but it feels like it's not as well considered as defense. And again, you could talk about potentially the weakness on some maps with Gambit's attack and how much they kind of rely on a very strong defense in terms of building around deficit, but that there was almost, dare I say, scrappy, and a team that we talk about them being so disciplined, so structured, and the fundamentals being so strong. It's so strange to watch.
I'm with you. It definitely stands out. Speaking of standing out, Nats. Highlight player, I'd say, at least throughout this series so far for me, but not really an opportunity to do much with this round yet. And for G2, I want 5 alive. I want no mistakes. I want absolute dominance in this round from them. Of course, you could see a couple of players a little bit more equipped than others. Nat's waited patiently for the time to move up, and he's actually threaded the needle quite well. If he can close this gap towards Coldamenta, oh, that's a travesty. Nat's playing this timing so nicely. Now, Nookie can sit towards heaven for a little longer, but they now know there's a problem lurking in the depths. The nade goes down, or pack or 2, but it's not going to stop the spike. Spike's now in, the time's on their side. Now, this is favourable to G2 still. 4 players to the 3.
Because Shados and Kellogg's on the mini-map. Just keep your eye on that as we stay on board with Nats. Just outside, the time is going to be perfect, and that's it. That's a huge kill for Kellogg's to find in this retake. Mixwell doubles down, over to seal the deal, and 4 survive for G2.
Well done. Really well done. And I'm glad you highlighted that backline fight that was going on there. If that had gone another way, maybe there could have been something to be said about it. But they're just so sharp, so prepared, clearing these corners with full intent of a player to be there. No lazy clears coming out from G2 in that round. I like that. So it does seem as though we do have a pause coming in any second now. There we go. So, you know, we kind of get to open up the conversation now, because G2 were kind of commanded to on that first half, but it seems as though they can maybe change a little here. What do we look for in this round? Because again, we know they're on the bonus. But again, when you're at a deficit, those bonuses, you know, they don't feel like a bonus. Even if you do a bit of damage, you know, the economy, etc., etc. How much can they walk away with in this?
I mean, for me, it's we look back towards a couple of the big conditions on both sides of the coin, right? And this will be a big one for Lothar. I'm sure he'll love to get his teeth into this one, but Gambit really limit themselves with this composition, right? It relies a lot on Defo being, you know, the one to spearhead these attacks, particularly on A, right? Because there's no secondary layer of kind of security once they get onto site, unless they find 1-2 kills in quick succession, get ahead of that rotation, and can really, you know, lock down site. Without a Sage, there's so many other things to worry about. I mean, A requires pretty much a perfectly synced pinch from Showers, but with Nuki playing positions like he did in that previous round, Heaven completely throws a curveball to that, right? Because it's not a position that you can really comfortably pressure from anywhere. I mean, Nuki just has an opportunity to dip in and out, even just take information, but they're not losing one before that rotation. So particularly on the buy rounds, I want to see Gambit do what they do best, which is sit in the default, but when they come for these executions, it relies on Defo creating the space, but capitalizing on it quickly.
Over. Hello?
No way.
It's a gift. It's a gift from the gods, and he's gone. Oh, he didn't quite get away. If he got away with that, that would have been literally getting away with daylight robbery.
That is absolutely criminal.
That dog's probably just out there going, there's a player next to me. That's weird. Fair enough. Yeah, a 1-for-1 trade out at this point, losing out on Shados as well. That's, you know, the replenishing flashes now removed. Those instigating pieces get a bit trickier, and Nuki seems very... Oh, the timing.
Oh my God.
Gets him. He still gets him. Nuki, the amount G2's getting away with this round, the amount of it, absolutely unbelievable. Both of those instances were... You repeat that 10 times over, I don't think you have that outcome.
The utility usage was perfect from Gambit as well. Nuki just 2 steps outside of that. Full information, full control of A short. Now Gambit left to attempt a recovery on B site here. Coldamenta though, gonna absolutely crush the dreams. Defo and Chronicle full. Redgar will find one, but he's got 3 more to find. Mixwell might even consider an upgrade here, and no, just the run and gun. G2 brought this back within touching distance now, and Gambit back down to pennies, Lauren.
This is huge. That was... Look, I said it. That's what worries me about those bonus rounds, because them walking away at a loss wasn't going to work out for them. So they got proactive, they got aggressive, they found some weird stuff. Like, if I can't believe what we saw at the start of this round. I really... The absolute balls on the Vova gets in time, just does not care for any utility thrown down, and he does his job. He's a problem to them. He's a nuisance, and we saw that exchange with Nuki, and I think it was Nat slipping just across it, and he still managed to get him. Rifles recovered. The economy's going to be in such a good position for G2. This is an incredible turn of events for them. This is enough to get them back in potentially, but Defo still on the hunt, still trying to find some damage here. Nuki has been humbled in this one. Has to now respect that Coldamenta falls away because Showers is no longer theirs.
That's the sort of thing that, again, Gambit need to achieve if they want to pressure A. Now, the problem being of Over and Coldamenta here, and Mixwell and Kellogg's have walked long. So again, full information gathered. So Gambit can't even respond quick enough here because G2 have already picked up the slack elsewhere.
Concealment.
Look how quick this flank's coming through, Lauren.
It's huge. But again, G2 still need these players to survive, and Avova, this is a dangerous game you're playing. Rifle to hand, he's now looking a little nervous in that corner. Peekaboo finds Natty, didn't look nervous at all. Actually, ice cold, calm, collected of over, just handling them. There's now down to, what, 3 left alive. Defo, Redgar, and Shados. But here's that flank. You mentioned it earlier. It's been slowly building the backlines. No idea, no clue. And no more players to be depending upon here, apart from just Defo and Shados. Mixwell, though, they didn't expect another player. Surely, one was already insane. The second seems almost unimaginable at this point, as Shados does go down. The flank eventually works out. A dangerous round, Hypoc, but one that goes G2's way nonetheless.
I mean, that was textbook by G2. Again, the response to where Gambit showed presence and showed pressure immediately. The walk B long comes. At this point, again, this is where Gambit ultimately become, you know, the victims of their own strength, right? Is that slow, methodical approach actually just leaves them completely exposed. And G2 clean up around with relative ease, even if yes, there's a few kills either side now, and it comes down to only 2 surviving from G2. Like, I'm fine with that. Absolutely fine with that. Really, really well played. Gambit now, I mean, yes, the purchase is going to come through, but look at what's left. I mean, after Redgar buys, Defo 1 away from the Blade Storm. Saving grace, maybe. The ultimate progress is probably the only saving grace. But then you look at the other side, and
they're not far off it.
G2, you know, have just been winning these cut and dry, right? It's not really been on the back of anything being invested here. So now we're at the point where we're in the 5th round of the second half. both teams stacked up in terms of this ultimate cycle, but this purchase will break GAMBIT.
And you can see why the timeout comes in now. It has to be now. They have to get something in mind here to deal with what G2 have done to them. And again, the proactive plays from G2, the quick flanks from G2, it's all so good. Such big indicators of a strong half, potentially. But for now, we begin with those opening forays, and actually another opportunity. You can see Defo wanted in so badly. Couldn't quite make it, but he does once again at least start that shower control build. Nat's closing in on the gap here, but two players tucked in towards lamps, one towards sight, and they're all adjusting around here. Nats is actually trying to slip into this, maybe find himself a spot to work from.
Look at it. Oh, okay, I thought hard clearing, but Nats will actually win that one. The Seeker's invested. Mixwell's position will be noted. Kellogg's on site too. GAMBIT struggling to find this kill in showers. Shados will fall. Oh my god, he finds a second. Defo creeping through the smoke. Now, it's all down to Kellogg's, but Nats will deal with him. A 3v3 here.
Nats is single-handedly trying to save this, but Mixwell is looking to completely destroy it. Redgar handles Mixwell, puts him down. Nuki and Coldham enter. How do you deny it? How do you stop it? Sends it in blindly, and it works. Redgar is denied, and now problems begin to show. Nat's waiting to see if anyone would dare. It looks like there is one on the way, but timing not going to be close enough to do much about it. He's going to at least make the noise of it so they know the intention is shown. And now one through CT, one through Hookah, and Nats is tucked on that site. Nuki starts to work in. No easy picks to be had. Coldham enter the first step forward. It's Nats now gone. Chronicle, what can you do about this? How does this tail end for you? It's already halfway. You got to get a move on. You got to get running. And he can't get the kill. Nuki's got him. And a brilliant round from G2.
Fantastic.
That positioning and shower from Mixwell. How did he get Shados in that? He got the player behind the low HP. I'm amazed.
And then sticks it again. Defo desperate to trade that because of the chaos on site, on default. Desperate to trade that kill, and he's punished again. I just want to highlight one small thing that it's not often you're able to appreciate the beauty of a blast pack, but that blast pack being thrown down forces Nats to play deeper in tube, allowing Coldham to walk out from spawn. It's the little things that you can appreciate in Valorant. That right there was actually beautiful from G2.
And look, if we're going to credit GAMBIT with their retakes, I'll do the same thing for G2, and it looks that good. But Mixwell waits, and Mixwell's been on today. And there's the flash. Couldn't quite crest the corner in time, but he's going to at least gain B-long control. Can fall away from that now. No TikTok walls needed. We look towards the other side. 3 players still here. And yeah, Nats can get close, but look at the purchase they're working with.
You dead.
Not being given anything here. Defo's so low that he actually just dies from the paint shell detonation. Ambit down to 3. 2 Spectres and a Sheriff. Like 2 Spectres and a Dream here as G2 still 3 players on A site and Nuki still on top.
No reason not to be.
Yeah.
All the support he needs, yes, still can be a problem. He's got a Vova by his side. And that's going to be double digits for G2, and in some fashion as well. They have absolutely spun this around. This was GAMBIT completely dictating how this was looking. We were kind of, wasn't halfway out the door, but we were looking at, okay, G2, where do you find the way back in? And they found it. They absolutely found it with both hands. They've taken this lead away from GAMBIT, and they've given them absolutely nothing to work with.
Last player standing.
Let's just think back, well, feels like a couple of minutes ago. It was 8-4, Lauren.
They had 4 rounds.
They had 4 rounds. And now they're on the brink. They're on the brink of the 11th. And GAMBIT once again being absolutely strapped financially. Ultimates, Hunter's Fury, that's it. And look at G2. Again, just the economy management and the ultimate management as well from G2 has been fantastic. Even now they have a couple of fallback plans that even if things do go wrong, which there isn't an awful lot going wrong for G2 right now, it's something to try and recover the round.
Nice little bit of info there. Might have spotted 2 as well. He's seen enough. That should be the call for rotation to come over as well for Coldham. You can see off the back of that one trade of information, they actually might lean away from this just because of that. But the pick, that's going to be temptation to continue this way. Let's see what Gambit do with this now. Quadamenta forced to pop the ult. No one's there. They've all lent away. This comes into the hands of the likes of Avova, Kellogg's. And Kellogg's position is nasty. Avova's going to see enough. Pulls it out, and Kellogg's now is closing the gap. Shados just looked away. Defo was unaware, but now the corner. He's got it to at least hold for now. He's trying to jiggle that peak. Try and pull someone away. Chronicle, he's come over as well. He's drawing so much attention here. The rotation's already come in. They've got their player on the site now. This is... They can't get rid of him. He is being such a problem. Kellogg's is just living here, rent-free in their minds. Finally, Chronicle takes him down, but at what cost?
Fury, though. We can literally sit back now, Lauren. Few members of G2 remain. Mixwell and Quadamenta. And Chronicle can sit deep on this. Tap comes through. Okay, thank you. I didn't want to see another one, that's for sure. Redgar now looking to pile on the pressure. Mixwell will respond, but Hunter's Fury again, not going to get any information. He'll get the tap. Defo will swing. Actually, Mixwell doing a lot of damage here. The operator will be lost on the side of Gambit.
He's trying to get it back.
No, he's got it.
Nice work. Now, look. We were just hyping up the 6 on the trot. You take him, though. When you've been absolutely just pushed down that many rounds, you take that one back.
Yeah.
Now, again, I think kind of the rotations weren't wrong. The picks came in at the right place, but the call off the back of Mixwell, it seemed to draw that rotation, which kind of, it felt like Gambit read into as well.
And it's so tricky as well. Defo being the one stuck with the operator there, you can't just challenge that. Kellogg's buying so much time. Unfortunately, G2 are not able to find anything on the back of that. Gambit now sit very deep. The Owl Drone will actually spy out Chronicle. Avova was poised to swing on the back of that, but nothing will come of it. G2 not giving anything away. Don't really need to right now with how deep Gambit are playing. I think G2 can read this very, very comfortably.
Does Chronicle ever blink?
Fairly confident his webcam's frozen. Unless he's doing his best Nats impression.
Way to go. 10-9, Defo. And they're trying to keep him tamed down. They're pushing down that opening potential that he's been having moments on, but not so much this half. He's been kind of manhandled by G2, not making it easy for him to work with. Again, look how deep they're having to play. 35 seconds, and they're not even halfway up the map. Gambit being given nothing.
30 seconds
Absolutely
left.
nothing. Seeker's going in. Divide comes up. Seeker's going to reveal the intentions once again. Well, at least where Redgar is. But 20 seconds, Hypok. They're running so low on time. They've got 3 players to play against. And look at the amount of utility coming in. Mixwell trying to get around the corner. Redgar going to be pulled further forward. And now 14 seconds. Time is a huge factor. Flash comes in. Nookie goes on it. Full faith in the flash. And why not? Now, there is a trade up at time. 6 seconds now. The clock is the biggest enemy. Kellogg's is just trying to buy the time. And there it is. Mixwell seals it. But the clock had run down so late. G2, right place, right time. And still playing off the back of those flashes so well.
Again, I got to come back to it. It's just, especially in a late round hit like that, it reeks of desperation to try and get this plant down on default without pushing a little deeper to find something. And don't get me wrong, the set piece from G2 there, beautiful. The flash, Nuki swinging through, Kellogg's being there to clean up afterwards is great, but it just doesn't feel comfortable from Gambit at all. And like I said, that it's almost missing that consideration that we've talked them up so much on.
Right there. Pulling them in.
Away we go. Defo. Okay, fair enough. Somehow gets Avova. Bit weird, but if it's going to give you a chance, sure, why not? But Quadamenta just fills that gap instantly. No problem there. They're going to try and push in maybe while that drone's up and going, but Quadamenta's still ready to go. He's got Kellogg's by his side. There's no sweat on the brow at this point. Redgar did a little bit, but not enough. He's going to walk away with a ghost. This is going to be 12, no matter which way you cut this. Redgar's a great player, but this one's all but done. 12-9, G2, a resurgence. I thought they were dead in the water after what Gambit put up, but Gambit just went missing.
They're just, I said, just kings of the comeback. G2
Oh, yeah.
again, just building on the successes. And the thing is, as well, for me, looking at the performance from yesterday versus today, it's way more reserved. It's way more calculated. These little set pieces I'm seeing from G2 are actually the things that have made me question some of the success that they've had recently, where you know, you could argue that this roster rebuilt as a super team and yada yada yada. It's been a little flaky in my eyes. Those little mistakes that you've seen today, I feel, have actually been addressed.
Yes.
It's really good to see, because again, this isn't a drink the Kool-Aid, but those were my concerns coming into today. A team like Gambit, it's almost like, you know, you could kind of relate them to the FPX of old, right? It's structured, it's disciplined, it's you're playing against it, you're kind of bashing your head against a brick wall trying to break through, right? But G2 have just looked comfortable in this game, where Gambit have been able to dictate the pace, I feel, which is a huge statement on the side of G2.
And no loss to the mental on the half after having a pretty rough first half coming in. 4 pretty sporadic rounds. They weren't, you know, all telling. This is great indicators for G2. And aggression down B-Long again. Avova last time got away with absolute murder. This time gets noted, has to respect it and fall back, get a heal up, but gonna lose out on a little, but maintains map control, making them burn through that utility so early on.
Defo down to 15 HP. Gonna have to reset and get this heal.
Pushing.
Yeah. Okay, it is punished. I'd say that actually Shados has no heal, so he's 15 HP for the remainder here. Res available, so I feel like Gambit kind of forced to end up on B here, and difficult for G2 to retake that B long control if that's the case. Chronicle's still trying to bait out some presence towards A though, and it will draw Cold Amenta. Now that's important. It's Avova left to hold down B. First one, low HP.
Another.
Yeah, Shados will trade it though.
Yeah, I thought Shados might have been in more trouble there with that barrel showing, but actually manages to keep his life. Now they're taking the site. All 3 other players for the opposition are towards A. First one taking the TP through. Spike now down. This would be a tough retake. That would have been the start that they could have really done with. But Redgar stays alive. 12 HP is not a lot, but it's enough to keep his life. Heart still beating in the chest. Coldamenta and Kellogg's. no one's going to be easy in this. It's those players creeping around that are the problem. Now they've got issues on all fronts. Kellogg's has found Chronicle. And a 1v2. Kellogg's, how much time do you have on this? Not enough. Shados is there. And we're at double digits for Gambit. It ain't over yet. They still had put up numbers in that first half, enough that this is not out of the realm of possibility. They could still do some damage, but again, G2 have been on a bit of a rip recently. And let's put it into context. That was a very, almost overly aggressive push down towards B long. That was a committed, let me see what I can do to you here. But timeout coming back in, is this, oh, it's G2 again.
I'll tell you what it is though. That pushes up. We've won 8 rounds on our defense now, so we're just gonna get a little weird. We're just gonna do some weird things.
Yeah, get fruity.
It is punished, which is important as well, because it shows that Gambit aren't deterred. They're remaining at least diligent in these rounds. And I talk about desperation. The last thing I'd want to see is Gambit just throw the rulebook out the window and say, right, rush B, go. So benefits, yes, but I still feel like there's a mountain to climb before I feel comfortable this is going to overtime, even though it's 2 rounds. I think they have to overcome a lot of what G2 have built up through this half. Now, I mean, we haven't really seen that much variation. We haven't seen G2 get particularly proactive in terms of sending, you know, feelers out. Other than that one round, I remember Kellogg's and Mixwell walking B long or something when the early presence was shown by Gambit, but we have to wait and see. As I even just see that once again. 3 players towards B. I think he's spotted out Showers, but no real pressure just yet towards the site. Gambit going to retrieve the orb. Shados, 2 away from the Seekers now.
It's seeming a little Na'Vi-esque, isn't it? 1 minute on the board and we've still got a bit of a deep default coming out. A little bit of, I guess, progress towards shower, but beyond that,
Oh, progress,
not
right?
much.
Progress.
Yeah. 20-second sight hit. I mean, if it works out right, if they pull rotations towards A off the back of a couple of flashes and kind of
Hey, they've
limited
sold this.
vision,
There.
exactly, that walk up on B long is great. Now it comes down to Coldamenta then.
He's droned all the way
Does he
through
get the
Hooker as
read?
well. He used to peek
Okay.
out. Yeah, gonna spot one.
There it is. I don't know how much info he got, but it's enough that they at least know they're going to be here. Mixwell, though, does
30 seconds
very
left.
intuitively use the utility to try and clear as he goes through. Chronicle's in a little bit of danger. Spike is now down. Mixwell coming back in through Hookah. Still, though, G2 quite close by. Coldamenta never fully dipped away from this. Still trying to hold some presence. The ult doesn't find anyone. And wait, Defo, he's going to find one spot. It's the second! Defo! That's nastiness. He's an absolute reaper in this. Finding two and dragging them to their graves. GAMBIT! The slow patience pull of the rotations paid so heavily. There's Redguard going to try and chase down Mixwell. There's the trade out, and we are at 12-11. GAMBIT. What a way to run that clock down.
I'm gonna wait because I think G2 are on about 4K total after that previous round purchase. Now you'd hope that it's, yeah, I mean they'll be fine. They'll be fine. The fact that they don't find anything with a showstopper here is actually heartbreaking because Defo's the one that finds these 2 kills before the retake can even really get started. And I think it's because that Viper Spear actually cuts off at the point. Oh my god, look at the buy. It's worse than I thought, Lauren. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Gambit.
Lacking.
Oh my god. They've actually busted the
It's not over
economy,
yet.
man.
It's not over yet, Hybog. It ain't over yet. There's still a rifle on Mixwell. Some armor, some odds and ends. They're lacking some pieces of utility. Oh, it's strained, it's strenuous, and these patient plays don't play well to having light utility. You can't find that information you'd want easily now. You have to be very meticulous in where you invest it. Presence shown towards B long. Flash comes in, it's going to at least indicate a player either facing where Nookie is or, you know, maybe a little bit towards the corner of Mixwell, but he has to wait. They can't overinvest utility or rotations because they've been punished by this in the past.
Having said that, Gambit sold a perfect fake on A last round. You can see here the adjustment will be Kellogg's and Avova to potentially stall out a push.
You are divided.
Cosmic Divide actually goes up though. So they're going to try and force the issue here. It's going to be a brute force on towards 8
It
site.
is. 30 seconds. Redguard's found Mixwell. That's not a good beginning. Redguard's found Kellogg's. There is no safety for G2 to find. Gambit are tearing it away from them. Now down to Nookie, Coldamenta, and Avova. The rifle is gone. It's on the Spectres, and that's about it. Spike gonna be just touched for a second. It's not gone down yet. This could still
What?
be pretty good for
Spike
Avova.
down
Time though.
A.
12 seconds. 2 more stand. Nookie's
way.
found Redguard. How is this happening? Deny the... Oh my word, he's denied it for now.
Last
But
player
now
standing.
timing.
You can't get it.
5 seconds.
the
I don't
spike.
think he's got
Oh
the
my God.
3 seconds on the plant. This is down to the last couple of seconds. He's
He
got,
got
it.
it. He's got Hunter's Fury. Nookie's 21 HP, Lauren. Oh my god.
He's just walking around.
Oh
He's just having a
my
wander.
god.
Switching
I can't.
sides.
I can't
What is
handle
this
that.
series? What is this series?
He's just having a stroll. He's got Hunter's Fury ready. He could sit deep. He could sit for the post plant. Nah, he's having a wander over by lamps.
You can see here as well, look at the timing on the utility. It's perfect from Gambit. Snake bite in place to cut off in case they try and push that wall. This is absolute daylight robbery from Avova, by the way. But the stun sets him up perfectly for that. That happens. That round has left me absolutely speechless.
We're in OT. It's 12-12. G2 against Gambit. Of course it had to go like this. This is the map I wanted between these two. But what do we see again? This is so sick watching these two. Mind games galore. But now we go back. Roll your minds back to that. You know, Gambit on defensive side, G2 on the attacking side, and we were seeing problems.
Yeah, because Gambit did not miss a beat on their defense either. Let's not forget. Defo, this time a little more reserved than in regulation. And actually, looks like it might even trade places. Now that the operator's been noticed. No, he's not. He's actually going to pick up on Heaven. And I think on the back of an early attempt to get information, it's drawn Gambit towards A. Redguard now reconsidering
Rotation. Yep.
G2 might be able to get ahead of the curve here.
Good utility to at least slow down the pace. Look at them. They're being halted for now. Another flash. They want to buy time. They want to
Beautiful.
set this into motion.
Again.
And it's happened again. That's going to be a flashback
Nats,
in their
man.
minds. Nats. This guy is filthy at what he does. Such a problem player. And G2 have made nothing of this. They can't get through. It's down to just one. And he's dead. He's gone. Chronicles closed it. Gambit on 13. Now, this poses a problem, Hypok,
Switching
because
sides.
Gambit decided to come
Match
back
point.
into it. They started to find answers. G2 weren't able to kind of close this out, right? This was Gambit pulling it just back in after that mad run back from G2. Like, look at the trot of how these rounds have gone. That's 4 in a row now for Gambit.
And we talk about comfort levels, right? G2 finding their groove and being able to, I guess, reset. Then being able to want to, you know, say, actually, we're going to set the precedent. We're going to play on our terms. Now, on the back of Gambit, those last 3 attacking rounds, honestly, mean more to Gambit than the first 7 for G2. Seriously, in my eyes, to have somebody just completely flip it back in their favor like that, to force overtime. Like I said, those 3 rounds put G2 back on nothing. It was Spectres coming into it. That has got to be absolutely deflating when you start off the second half like that. G2 will pump the brakes. The tack timeout called. To consider themselves and their position here. But Gambit right back in the driving seat, Lauren.
This is such a good game. I'm so happy we got a great third map. This is what it's all about. This is it. Both teams pulling these mad strings of rounds, countering each other at the most critical times. But now this is what it comes down to. 1 round. Gambit wins GG. G2, we go again. What's the adjustment now? G2 have to wait and see what Gambit bring, but it's not been easy. Gambit hit those late pieces now. The pace instantly tuned up. They've changed things around. They're going to put that jet deep in towards Lamps. That's Defo now kind of working away behind enemy lines. Clear comes in as well. I'm pretty sure that Astra is now noted of over-Riz. The adjustment of pace has completely caught G2 unawares. Shados, Nats in combination, destroying that A hold. And now you've got Mixwell and Kellogg staring down the barrel of a gun.
Seeker's invested. We'll give away Kellogg's on the flank. Give away Mixwell. They have got a lot to do to build back into this retake. Shados now actually holding the smoke here. Kellogg's good for 1. Good for the second here. There's no way, right, Lauren?
It's a 2v2. And it's Mixwell and it's Kellogg's. I mean, everything could be possible. Kellogg's just spamming away, hoping for something. Mixwell gets given a chance, an opportunity, and it slips. Chronicle's got this one now. Kellogg's, it's a 1v2 and it ain't easy. He can't get it done. Chronicle denies it. And Gambit, against the odds after that mad comeback from G2, close out the game.
Absolute mad.